Hey, friends, welcome back to the Make Good Fashion podcast. I'm Jasmine. Thanks so much for being here. So, in today's episode, we're going to talk about how to position your brand to attract your dream retailers. It's not enough to have a great product, there is a science to it. So, first, I'm going to talk about all the things that you need to be considering and how to position your brand. And then I'm going to share with you practically how to use these things to have a winning pitch. So, let's start off with number one. First, you want to make sure that your brand is known for something. So you want to discover your brand niche. Like, what is special about your brand? What sets your brand apart from other brands? We would also call it your unique selling proposition. So it's not enough just to be a clothing brand, but like what type of clothing brand? So maybe your brand is focusing on, sustainable maternity wear. That's going to be your niche, right? So that's what you're going to be known for. And that's what you want to lead with when delivering your pitch. If you haven't identified this for your brand yet, you're really going to want to sit down and think about this. Like, what do I want my brand to be known for? For example, some brands that already exist out there that kind of do this well. For beauty, you can think about Glossier. Glossier, when they came on the scene, they were known for clean beauty makeup for people who wanted to look like they weren't wearing any. So that was their niche, right? So when you're emailing buyers and sharing with them about your brand, and all your marketing copy, whether that be on your online store or on your social media platforms, you want to articulate these points because it's not enough for people to look at your clothing and know what you represent. You want to communicate it, actually over communicate it. So make sure that you know how to articulate what sets you apart and what you're known for. Next, you want to make sure that you're developing a strong brand identity. And this is so important. Your brand identity is comprised of the colors you're using, the brand aesthetic, so the photography style, the type of models you use, all the visual elements of your brand that kind of tells this cohesive story. So you want to make sure that you develop a strong brand identity that is in line with your target audience, so the type of people that you want to buy from you, and that's also in line with your brand category, right? So if you are a luxury brand, you want your brand aesthetic, you want your brand identity to communicate that. So, for example, the images that you use, you probably want to use elegant looking models in the way that you style it. You want it to look luxurious, right? So make sure it's just consistent across the board. You don't want to say, I'm a luxury brand, have a luxury price point, but your photos don't look like it or your branding doesn't look like it. And the reason why this is important is because when a buyer looks at your marketing and sales materials and you pitch your brand, you want them to be able to resonate with what your brand represents. You want them to be able to see your marketing materials, your imagery, and say, oh, that totally would fit the type of customer that shops at our store. Or this totally looks like the aesthetic that we represent in our store, right? You want it to be in alignment with that. But if you want to be in this high end concept shop and your imagery does not reflect that, then you're going to have less likely chances of being picked up by this store. And a little hack for this is kind of looking at the brands that are already carried in the stores that you want to be in and check out their branding strategy. Like, again, what kind of models and photography style are they using? How do they style their products? What's their look of the brand? What kind of colors and fonts they use? Like, you don't want to copy that, but you want to use that for inspiration of like, okay, if this type of brand got into this store, how can I make my brand desirable to that type of store too, and desirable to my target audience in the way that we show up, right? So you really want to think about that. And it's never a wrong time to do a rebrand. Like if you feel like your branding is not in alignment with how you want your brand to show up in the world, it's okay. Like you can always rebrand. You can always refresh your logo, refresh the colors that you're choosing, refresh the photography style. So just something to think about. So another way you can make your brand irresistible for retail buyers is having some social proof or some buzz around your brand. Now, this is not 100% necessary to get your brand into retail stores, but it sure does help. So what it looks like to have some social proof or some buzz around your brand is maybe you have amassed a large social media following and you have some top influencers wearing your brand. This is great. This is showing that your brand is in demand and that people actually want what you are selling. And in turn, retail stores will say, I want a piece of that pie. Like it looks like a lot of people are into this brand. You have all these cool influencers wearing it. We want to be ahead of the curve and bring this brand on. So that's why it's so important to focus on building your social following, whether it be on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest. You want to show up where your target audience is showing up. And you really want to leverage any viral moments that you've had by reposting them on your page or, sharing that on your website and things like that. Another way that you can go about this is having media mentions or celebrity press. Celebrity press and media mentions holds a lot of weight. Again, retailers want to be ahead of the curve and they want to carry whatever is hot right now. And if you have some of the hottest celebrities wearing your things, or you have some of the hottest publications talking about your things, whether that be Vogue or Harper's Bazaar or InStyle magazine, if you got a write up, you want to showcase these things. So here are a couple ways you can do this. One way is mentioning all of the publications that have written up or mentioned your brand on your website. You usually see this on the front homepage of a website where you see all the logos. Maybe they have a Vogue logo, they have a Refinery 29 logo, a Forbes logo, wherever you've been mentioned. You want to showcase this. Your website is like your digital business card. So buyers will probably go and look at your website after they've seen your product catalog. So you want to display that on there. You also want to have a page on your website where you're showing your celebrity press. So if any celebrities have worn your things, make sure you have a button on your website that says press or something like that, where you show each celebrity that has worn your things. You also want to include in your brand pitch, which I will talk about during the end of this video, but you want to include any celebrity press or media mentions in your brand pitch as well. And if you're wondering, like, how do I get celebrities to wear my things? How do I even get press mentions to begin with? Well, one, you can hire a PR firm that can help with celebrity placements or celebrity gifting, which means gifting your brands to celebrities or getting your brand in the hands of celebrities. If you have a PR agent, they sometimes also work with stylists who are styling celebrities for music videos or for premieres and things like that. And so having PR is great. But also, again, if you just keep up your digital presence too, a lot of times members of the press are searching social media to see new brands to feature. So make sure you just keep that stuff up too. But those are some ways that you can get some buzz. And so you want to make sure you're leveraging this. If you have celebrity press ready, if you have media mentions, use this to your advantage. Buyers want to get on top of what's hot. Another thing you want to do is you want to know your competitors well and know your market really well. So you want to make sure that you understand where you fit in the market, because this is going to help you to know what retailers to reach out to. And I think this is one issue that people come across when they're wondering, like, why can't I get my brand into retail stores? Why am I not hearing back from certain retailers? Why is my brand not irresistible? It's not that your brand is not irresistible, it's just that you're not targeting the right stores. So one thing I would say to do is to research some of your competitors or some brands that you would see your brand maybe positioned to at a retail store. So for example, with my own brand, we had more of a minimalist, timeless aesthetic. So I would look at brands like Jenny Kane because I would think like if I was in a store, I would be next to like a Jenny Kane, right? Or a J. Crew, I would be next to a J. Crew or whatever that looks like. So then after you've identified those brands that you would be positioned next to, you want to see what stores they're currently carried in because you would probably be sold in the same stores as these brands or if you would be positioned next to them. So from there, you can start compiling a list of stores to target based on where some of your competitors are sold so that you are targeting and reaching out to stores that are going to really love your product because they bought product like yours in the past. Okay, and finally, we want to bring all of those points together in a pitch, and I want to show you how you can use everything we spoke about to create a winning and compelling brand pitch. Have you ever dreamed of seeing your clothing or accessory brand stocked on the shelves of your favorite retail stores? Well, friend, I have some exciting news for you. I'm thrilled to announce the Fashion Wholesale Masterclass is now open for enrollment. This course is designed to help you scale your brand to new heights with retail placement. In this exclusive course, you'll discover how to effectively position your brand for wholesale, sell your designs to retailers, build lasting partnerships, and so much more. We'll guide you through the wholesale market, empowering you to navigate it with confidence and success. But hurry, enrollment closes soon, so head over to makegoodfashion.com/wholesale success to take your fashion business to the next level and make lasting impact. Hope to see you inside. So again, the first thing we talked about is being known for something, and you want to articulate this in the body of your pitch. So when you're pitching through email, you share a little bit about your brand. And so you want to bring out those niche areas, those unique selling points in your pitch about your brand. The next thing we talked about is having a strong brand identity. And you want to showcase your strong brand identity by the imagery you're going to include in your pitch and your line sheet, your product catalog, your lookbook. You want to show what your brand is about with these elements, and also making sure your website also reflects your brand identity as well. We also talked about having that buzz and that social proof. So if you have any brand press, media mentions, or influencers that have worn your things, make sure that you include that. I like to create a little PDF with images, I call it a press kit, images of celebrities wearing my items, or different magazines that have featured our pieces, do little clippings. Maybe I'll do a screenshot of a magazine or online publication to also include it within my pitch so that the stores can see that we are desirable and that celebrities and the press are talking about our brand. And then lastly, as I said, know your market, and you're going to use that to know what retailers to even reach out to in the first place. And also, you can use knowing your market and your competitors by knowing where you fill a gap, right? So maybe the store that you're reaching out to carries certain brands, but they don't carry a brand that does what you do. So maybe you can talk about where you fill a gap in the market that these other brands do not. So think about that as well. Okay, so now that we've gone through how to make your brand irresistible to buyers and to position yourself for success, I want you to go and audit your brand. Look at all the things that we spoke about. Go through and make sure that your brand has a strong brand identity, that you know your niche, and that you have something that you're known for. And then going through to see if you have any media mention or celebrity press, and compiling all of that to make sure that you're showcasing it well. And then go and review who your competitors are and where you can fill a gap in the market. Well, friend, if this episode was helpful to you, please make sure to like this video, comment your favorite takeaway, and share it with someone that might benefit from it. And make sure to subscribe to this channel for more tips on how to start, launch, and grow your impactful fashion brand.